So, greetings everyone. So, from task tracker to strategic advisor, what is that? If I ask you, do you use AI in your work? The question is meaningless. The answer is obviously yes. It is how you use AI makes you an effective project manager. It's not only about execution, it's not only about tracking tasks. Activity A is getting delayed, tracking that on the chart. That's not what a project manager is supposed to do. Project manager is supposed to deliver on time within budget with customer satisfaction. So you need to use AI, yes, as a task tracker because tasks need to be tracked, but you have to go beyond that and become a strategic advisor. Let's see how. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to talk about myself, no introductions. Let's just get going and we'll see at the end. So, yes, what's happening today? As not as a project manager, I guess in anything that we do now, we're using AI. So, even as a project manager, are you using AI? The answer is obviously yes. You're using AI most probably at execution layer. What is that? Do you make WPS? Most of you. Gaurav, I can see that you have raised your hand. If you have a question, I'll take all the questions at the end of it. Most probably you had raised it to answer my question whether whether you are able to hear or not. Okay, good. So, as I was saying, execution layer is somewhere the AI is getting used right now also. So some of you, maybe you are using AI to make WBS, maybe you are using AI to create various reports. It's important. You have to do it because AI can do it fast. If you are not doing it, if you're not using AI, to make these reports, like say WBS, any deliverables or status reports, if you're not using AI right now, you are actually not using the resources well. You will save about 30% time if you use AI to make these documents, including your minutes of meeting notes. So if you're not using, yes, you have to use. But can you stop at that? As a project manager, can you just use AI to draft the charters, make the WPS, make the status reports? These are important, you have to make it. But can you stop using AI only here? The answer is no. The AI, if you use well, it will actually give you many avenues where you can finish your project better. We'll talk about that. Typically, as a project manager, one of the responsibilities that you have is those reports. So those reports, I'll tell you a story in a few minutes. So those reports you have to deliver on time, deliver well. That is what is expected of a project manager. But what is the project manager's main, shall I say, duty, or shall I say main focus? What's the project manager's main focus? Delivering status report or delivering the project within the constraints, like maybe time, maybe cost, whatever constraints are important for your organization. All these reports, all these documents, though they are important, they are meant for supporting your delivery. So for delivering that, as a project manager, you have to take many decisions. Will this vendor deliver on time? Okay. If this vendor is not delivering on time, what do I need to do? Will my team be able to finish all the work? Will I get the resources? I was in a steering committee meeting. Everyone was saying, yes, this is a project we need to go ahead with. And the HR head was saying, yes, we need to finish it on fast track. In the steering committee, somebody senior saying we need to finish it on the fast track. How do I interpret actually? I write down that everyone has conquered that we need to do it on fast track. What happens actually? The resources that I need are not available. If I could have guessed that earlier as a project manager, maybe I could have taken some decisions about the timeline beforehand. Now, what's happening is in the steering committee, I committed. In the meeting, I committed. And now I'm not getting those resources. So a stakeholder who's saying yes in the meeting but is finding difficult to deliver resources, will AI be able to help me here? The answer is yes. So that is where we are going to talk about a similar case very, very soon. As a project manager, the decision that I could have taken if I had used AI well is not to succumb or under the pressure or not to give into the pressure and say, yes, we'll finish the project fast because we need to, assuming that I'll get the resources. That is a decision I could have made if AI was with me. So from execution layer, you also have to go to decision making layer. AI, it's a decision making is something that needs to be done by human. Don't give your decisions to AI. AI can support. But yes, you can take AI support and you can make these decisions. Are you with me? It's not only about making those documents is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm saying that those documents are important. I'm saying that you have to. Okay, the story that I can tell you is it was one of my first projects. And I was pretty young at that time. So I took pride in my Excel skills and my Word skills and all of those. And I made beautiful Gantt charts and everything. But did the report save me on the project? No, the reports were very good. My stakeholders appreciated. They said the reports are beautiful. We should make them as templates. All the projects should use these templates. But beyond that, it did not save my project from slipping from the timeline. It was one of my first projects, so I had a senior person support me. So it didn't matter much. But what I should have done is yes, those reports were important, but along with that, how my project is progressing. Do I need to do something? Do I need to have more team members? Do I need to outsource some work? Have my team members understood the work? Are they clear about their roles and responsibilities? Are they doing the job well? That was my major responsibility as a project manager, which perhaps I did not do well. So, and I learned a lesson, fortunately for me, in my very first project. So, decision making layer is more important for the project manager. And one thing you have to remember is this layer is okay. As far as responsibility goes, this layer is non AI. Or in other words, if I say this layer is supported by AI, the decision is taken by the project manager. But the decision is taken by the project manager with the help of AI. It's human only. So that's what you have to keep focus on, and that's what we will learn in our masterclass. The third one is governance layer. Governance layer is something every project manager does work through or does look into throughout the project, the compliance. Is there something that we need to deliver for the compliance? Any reports? Are there any risks? Something like compliance we will not be able to meet? Identification of risks has always been a troublesome spot in project management, especially in the large projects, bigger projects. This is where AI will definitely help you. Part of it is again that execution layer, making the risk registers after the risks are identified. So AI can help you in the execution layer, beautiful risk register. It can point out things, but AI can help you in identifying the risks also. Risk register comes later, isn't it? So as a project manager, getting AI to identify the risks will be something that you can do in your projects and save your projects from many trouble spots or many botherations. Yes. So identify the risks, make the risk register. AI can help you with auditing the risks also. As a project manager, you identified a risk. You decided that we will take action at a certain time. Say the risk was a major vendor would delay the delivery substantially. Your action that you had decided was, okay, the vendor is supposed to deliver in the third month from today. So from the second month towards the end of second month, we'll start reminding the vendor so vendor delivers on time. That is what happened in the risk identification meeting. Risk identified very correctly, the action plan very correctly decided, very well decided. What happens practically? By the time second month end comes, you are busy in so many meetings and so many things that you forget. Has that happened to you anytime? It must have happened to me sometimes during my project management. This is where AI can help you. AI can audit the risks. Where, what is happening? Have you identified it correctly? Have you analyzed it correctly? Have you decided on the action plan? And have you started the action plan on time? So AI can be used as a good tool to support you identify risks, analyze the risks, document them, decide the mitigation plan, as we say in project management, though not necessarily every time it is mitigation as per PMI. So fine, coming back here, and taking action also. It's not only documenting part of it. One thing you have to remember that if you are using AI on your projects, you have to remember to identify AI specific risks also. If your team members are using AI for, say, documenting your meeting, taking notes in the meeting, I just saw some time back, yeah, it's still there. Somebody's note taker is still there. So you have automated note takers that take notes. Some of them are very basic, some of them are very good. Um, So if you are using AI on your projects, there will be AI specific risks, data specific risks, data privacy specific risks. So AI doesn't come free, it comes with its own cost. The AI specific risks, like especially like data privacy, they are compliance related. So you will have to identify them and you will have to work on them. Yes, AI will help you in that too. Just give me a few seconds, friends. Thank you for waiting for me. Okay. So as a project manager, the major point that I'm trying to drive today is the project manager has to work on three fronts using AI so that he can really get the benefits. One is execution layer. The second one is decision making layer support, and the third one is governance layer. Okay. So now we'll just see how AI helps in decision making layer. It's a case that we are going to talk about, something almost all of us have gone through sometime or the other. As it's a common case, so I call it the case of disappearing deadline, a real world simulation of AI sentiment analysis in action. So, okay, going ahead. I'm talking about the names and all, the designations and all really don't matter. I'm talking about a case where the project manager, under the pressure from stakeholders, under the pressure from steering committee, the project managers and the team, of course, all together commit to some decisions that they actually may not be able to fulfill. Has that happened to you? The steering committee, the senior stakeholders, the sponsor, whosoever it is, pushed you to accept something which you know is technically not really doable. Technically, yes, but really it's not doable. But since the pressure is so much, you said, yes, I have done that. It actually happens. So let's see what happens in a project. We are in a steering committee meeting, project manager, team, and the sponsor and senior stakeholders. They are deciding the launch date of a product in quarter three. So Sarah is the sponsor who says, Mark, why do you need to wait till October? We have everything. You, we all, a similar product we already have released. Why do you need so much time? So I think since we have already done the similar product, we'll have some resources from that team. Let us move the launch date to 1st September instead of 1st October. We are in early June. You can do it, right? What do you think, Mark? Now, if this is what's happening, sponsor is saying it's doable, what happens typically is the project manager, the team, under pressure commits. The team agrees to September 1st, and the project manager, let's say Mark, he is now starting the work tomorrow. If you are the project manager, something similar can happen, starting work tomorrow. Okay, so if this is the situation, how can AI help a project manager? I want you to think about this situation for a second. Think that you are that project manager. Your very senior boss is sitting in front of you, is pushing you to squeeze the dates and commit earlier. Would you? If you don't have detailed analysis, you would tend to say yes, we'll go by 1st September as a date in the given case. I'm sorry. If you have an AI tool. I don't know about these basic tools, but yes, most of the AI tools can do this. What AI tool can come up with is some good analysis for you. See what it is saying. At the end of meeting, when the sponsor said, I think it's doable, we have the resources, you as a team member or you as a project manager, you know that the team members who do the work, developers, they are there. They'll do the job. QA may not be available. QC may not be available. Compliance, which is not something that you can manage, it has to come from some government agencies. That may not be possible. But just because the sponsor is pushing you, I accept it. So 65% people in the meeting have shifted their mindset to negative. They are forced to accept, not happy about it. So mindsets become negative. 65%. Okay, what does that mean? Something that you're committed, yes, but something that you know is not possible. So finally, what's going to happen here? Finally, you're going to commit, and finally, if you're not able to deliver, who gets the blame? Does the sponsor get the blame or the project manager get the blame? The project manager. And it's not about the blame actually. You'll not be able to deliver that and you are committing something which is not doable. Your team alignment is low. Team is sitting there, but they are just keeping quiet or they are just whispering something amongst themselves, but they do not want to go ahead and say something like that. And the sponsor, who is a very strong person, adamant person, he pushes the things, talks most of the time, 68% of the time. The sponsor is talking without allowing others to make their points. So, what's happening? What is AI actually telling you? The AI detects what is not being said openly. There are vocal hesitations and disengagement flags that indicate hidden risks. Something like, okay, when Sarah says, so we have a similar product, we have released it, it is similar superficially, is what the team knows. What say, Mark? Can we bring the date earlier? That's what Sarah says. Well, Mark knows the problems. He knows that the products are similar on the face of it, but there are many things that are different and it is technically very difficult. Mainly, okay, something like the what I was saying earlier, QA team may not be available, QC team may not be available, some compliance issues might be there. So when Sarah says this, there is a hesitation in what when Mark responds and says, yeah, we can do it. If nothing goes wrong, we can do it. This is what AI catches. If you are writing, if your team member is writing the minutes, the team member or anybody who's physically writing the minutes will not write that. Will write that Sarah asked this question and the team replied with yes. The hesitation in between is not caught there. This is where AI is your friend, and this is where the strategic shift can happen. You can take help of AI to to make a decision, like maybe you can convince Sarah or convince the sponsor, have one-on-one meeting with the sponsor to tell the sponsor about all the risks that are there, all the issues that are there. See, the sponsor is asking you to shift the dates early, may not be may not be aware of the real risks there. So, if this analysis is there with you in black and white, you will be able to work on that analysis, see how to engage your stakeholders, Sarah, manage your stakeholders' expectations, and get Sarah to give the correct decisions, or you may not accept the decision very easily if you have this analysis. Fine. So, how AI analyzes this is something, let's see here. How AI analyzes this? AI has gone through all the recording or is going through the recording while the meeting is happening. The analysis can be done either ways. If the entire meeting is online, if the recording is there, the recording can be fed to AI to analyze, or AI note taker, if it's a good note taker, can be a part of meeting. It's either ways. But what happens is the tones. How did Sarah monopolize the meeting? That's not what gets recorded in the minutes of meeting written by a human being, but AI will. What happened when Sarah asked the question? So, Mark, September 1, decided? What happens is Mark waits for full 4 seconds. 4.2 seconds is what AI has measured. 4 seconds looks like a negligible time, but can we count it? Sarah is asking a question. So, Mark, shall we lock the date? 1st of September? Hmm? and mark 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 seconds, there is no response. The room is absolutely still, quiet. That is what AI has caught, and that's the hesitation AI has understood. Then also Mark says, yes. I mean, technically, yes. Think so. If nothing goes wrong, we can make it happen. What's that nothing goes wrong? You know that there is no project where nothing goes wrong. So, actually, what Mark is saying behind his words, if you read between the lines, what he's saying it's not doable. Technically, it looks doable, but practically, with all the constraints around, it is not doable. So this is what AI has caught up. I know it's a small case, but this is where AI is not being used right now. AI is being used to make WBS, and it should be. AI is used for status reports, and it should be. But you should not stop there, is what I'm saying. Some reports, we are beyond some reports, making some decisions as a project manager, you should use AI in a right way. This is a tool. Meeting note taker is a tool which is not something people don't know about. People typically use that note taker as something which I don't want to attend physically, or I'm attending physically, but I don't want to make notes, says for my studies, or for what just for happened 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullet points, and I use my meeting note taker. So everywhere you use AI, see how AI can use help you. As okay, fine. Uh, I was just saying that you need to use these tools everywhere. You have to see that. Okay, just I was giving the example of a simple note taker, how we practically use the note taker, isn't it? I said, okay, we use a note taker when I don't want to attend a meeting with full concentration, or when I just want to have the bullet point list, because I've just switched on the note taker. The note taker is in its default mode. It just takes the note without any analysis. So typically, when I just want to, okay, if I'm attending some live classes and I just want to have the material to study, that's a good mode. It just documents everything that was being said, that was being talked about. That's all. But in meetings like this, when you use AI, all of you know this, right? Like, how does AI become effective? What makes AI effective? If you give garbage to AI, what does AI return? Garbage. Garbage in and garbage out. So if you give a good prompt to AI, even to this note taker, anything, if you give a good prompt to AI, it will give you good results. So it's not that you just switch on the note taker and it will give you all the analysis that is required to make decisions, right? So I'm sorry. For okay, if I tell you my personal favorite, it is the RCTF framework: role, context, task, and format. So what is the role of AI? In a meeting with the steering committee, I want AI to understand human behavior, and I also want AI to flag out risks that cannot be easily identified, like the team's hesitation in the meeting that we were talking about. So I have to tell AI, what is it? Give it a role. You are an expert senior risk auditor with, say, 20 years experience in SAP implementation, and you are a person who are also an expert in behavioral analysis. So now AI knows what it should focus on, from what perspective it should take the notes. So role is the first thing that I'd give AI. Then I would tell the specific context on my project. Specific context can be anything like, okay, we are implementing SAP, we have been implementing SAP in pharma industries. This is the first time we are implementing in a food industry. These are A, B, C, D, E. These are my senior stakeholders. I would give AI their details, not only about their names and their designations, anything specific. Okay, person who is, let's say, the resource head. The resource head right now is in a tight situation because our organization is not doing well and people are leaving and we don't have resources. So the HR head is worried. Something like that. Okay, so the project environment context needs to be explained very critically to AI. Then you can tell what is it that you want AI to do. Identify all the risks for my project that come out in the meeting. So this particular case talks about disengagement, but I could also say from behavioral perspective, from my team's perspective, identify all the risks that are there to my project and let me know the analysis after the meeting. So that is the task that AI has to do. Then I can tell it the format. You give it to me in a bar chart, explain it to me like you would explain to a fresher or maybe just somebody who's out of college. So it explains in the uh, easy statements, or it explains in human language, not something which is technically complex. So RCTF framework, I personally like. There are many frameworks, but yes, I'll say that RCTF framework is one of the best frameworks that will give you results in your project management work, any office work for that matter. Since we're talking about management, I said project management work. That's all. There's a question for you here. In the given situation, the AI flags Mark's anxiety. You have a steering committee update in 1 hour. So, what is your move? Let's say you are a senior project manager, you are helping Mark, and you have seen what has happened. AI has given you uh, the analysis that we have just seen. What will you do? You will go for option A or you will go for option B. What is the option A? Okay, Mark has anyway committed. So let's commit to the timeline. Let's do it. If some problems come, then we'll face them later. Okay? Face the problems later because Mark has committed. Let's go ahead with that's option A. And option B is pause and audit. Inform the sponsor. Tell Sarah that this is something that may not work. Look at the HR situation. We may not get QA resources. This is something I'm just imagining. So it might be QA resources, it might be development resources. We may not get QA resources. We may not be really able to deliver. The team is worried about that. And instead of just over promising and not delivering, it's a good idea to analyze right now. Do we want to hire the QA team or do we want to take a decision that we will take it slow and deliver by October 1st? Yes, friends, I want A or B in your answers. Uh, can you raise your hands if your answer is A? Okay, or you can answer in chat also. What do you think? What should happen here? Okay, nobody wants to answer A. All of you want to go for B? Okay, so there are some people who want to go for A or some people who want to go for B. What is that? Okay, so typically with the tone of AI analysis that we talked about, it's pretty clear that the technical answer, if you are answering an examination, the technically correct answer is B. And I know that most of you would select B here. But what happens practically is not this. Practically, many times we tend to go for A. It's not exactly wrong, I'd say, because under pressure, it's very difficult to stand up and say, these are the reasons, and we'll go for B. So, yes, if you think that you are going for option A, I want you to understand that you have been executing as a project manager, and now you have to understand and think about strategic turn also, strategic decision making also. So that is where um, your mindset has to shift from option A to option B. And let me tell you that it is one of the most difficult things. Okay. So that's whole question. One more question for you. I want you to think about it. So this is what AI should help you with, is what I'm saying. This is one example where AI should help you in decision making. The next thing that I'm going to talk about, I want you to understand. I want you to think about it, and let's solve the problem together. So before that, what's the challenge? The AI has told us about Mark's anxiety. You have a steering committee update in 1 hour. What's your move? It's commit, yes, fix it later, pause and audit. Okay, that's what we saw. The important thing here is we saw that the answer should be B. But the answer should be B in 90% of the cases. Answer can be A in 10% of the cases where it's important to understand the sponsor, or where it is important to accept what the sponsor says. The decision should be, this is the result of that dilemma actually, and this is what I want you to understand. The decision should be taken by you. AI has given you the analysis. AI has not given you the decision. AI has not said, go and push the project deadlines. What Sarah is saying is not correct. AI is not saying that. AI just giving you analysis. It is for a project manager to understand the analysis and take the decision. Do you remember the first slide when we said the first layer is execution? The second layer is strategic shift, where the decision making is total human decision making. It's done by people, it's done by humans. So this is what you have to remember. AI cannot be the decision maker, should not be. It can be, technically speaking. If you automate everything, it can take that decision of simply pushing the project deadline, which may not be correct. So don't let AI be the boss. Let AI be AI. Give the analysis to you so that you can use the analysis and then take correct decision. That is strategic insight. Don't let AI decide for you. Use it to understand. Let your let it poke your curiosity. Let it tell you what has actually happened. Then you can take the decision. Then the next challenge here is, so let's see what is happening here. Option A is you have now all AI analysis with you. Option A is share the data to the sponsor. Say, Sarah, AI has given me this analysis. Show the AI dashboard to the PMO or Sarah or whosoever was the boss. What happens? See, your team was disengaged in the meeting because they were worried. They were scared. They did not feel that they will be able to meet the deadline of 1st September. This is where you are betraying the team. Their feelings are directly communicated to the seniors with AI analysis. So the team trust gets destroyed. Team feels that they are being monitored, they are being constantly looked at and monitored by AI. They feel that AI is making the call, which is actually right. If you give AI analysis as it is to the sponsor and say, sponsor, this is the AI analysis, what's the decision you would take? So basically, then the decision is taken by AI. When the decision is taken by AI, team is not going to be happy. They are going to feel like puppets being monitored by AI. So, as a good project manager, you have to understand that report, form your own opinions, and communicate your own opinions to your senior stakeholders. So, keep the dashboard private. Use it for taking decision. Use that analysis for understanding the situation and taking decision. So what happens is team understands that you are getting that analysis, you are working on the analysis. The decision that you make is your decision. That's not AI's decision. This is something which is important because otherwise what will happen in the next meeting, especially if it's a virtual meeting, imagine what the team will do. The team will not talk. They will not switch on their cameras. They'll not talk. They'll try to type their messages. So they are trying to bypass AI. AI will not be able to understand their sentiments if they don't speak. The tone of voice AI doesn't get. AI will not be able to understand. So they'll try to do that because they don't want to be, nobody wants to be analyzed by a machine. I don't like my behavior analysis to be done by a machine, right? So the team is not going to like that. And as a project manager, you should take care that you should not give these AI reports directly to your seniors, AI analysis directly to your seniors. Any report. This is not only about this meeting analysis. Even if AI has made WBS, um, or if AI has made that status report, you see if that is really doable, if that is what has really happened, and if the AI has any sentiment analysis there. Do I really want to communicate this sentiment analysis to you? The decision making needs to be done by you. That is something that I'm driving through. So how AI helps a project manager? A project manager begins as a tool user. So he has to understand prompting basics, whether to use that RCTF framework or some other framework. Then for some basic deliverables, a person starts using AI. Maybe many of you are here right now or at the second level. So if you are here, there's nothing wrong. This is where AI use begins. This is where project managers begin using AI. Sorry. As you go on using AI on your projects, you will be using different AI tools. In fact, for project management tools like Jira also when AI is being used now. So that is the time you will understand how to manage AI vendors. Jira can be one of them. And especially what are governance risks, what are compliance risks there. AI compliance risks are something that you will need to understand, you will need to work on. So that might be your second stage. And the third stage is not only governing or not only understanding what are the risks, not only using AI for tools and documentation, using AI and getting the results and owning AI outcomes. Owning, saying, yes, this is what is my decision. I have taken this decision after going through the AI documentation, after going through the AI recommendations or results. I have analyzed and taken that decision as a human being. So, this is where you have to reach so that you can become a specialist finally. Somebody that has now, somebody where the industry is looking for. Industry is not, if you look around, the industry is not looking for a project manager who can only use those tools to make documents or deliverables. Somebody who can make those documents, manage AI vendors, or understand compliance, understand governance, and after all the analysis, can take good decisions in the interest of project. Level 3. That is what the industry is looking at, and that is what we are going to do in this course. Okay. So, yes, I see many courses, in fact, they talk about different tools and how to make deliverables using those tools. Give this prompt to ChatGPT and get a WBS out. Yes, that is important. We are going to do. But I see the courses stopping there, which is where is a problem. Like for a project manager, level 1 is essential now. It doesn't differentiate you from the crowd. So for differentiating you from the crowd, you need to reach that level 3. Okay. So that is something that I was going to tell you. So from fast tracker to strategic advisor masterclass begins on July 4th. So it's on July 4th and 5th, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST. These are sample modules. We will be actually having more modules than that. We also have a CPMI batch on 26th, 27th, 28th of June, 5 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. every day on IST. So that's just for your information. And before we close now, I have one thing to tell you. Always remember, AI is a tool and you are a decision maker. Okay, so now we can open for questions and polls. Can someone from Aditi, can you help me? Or someone can you help me? Meanwhile, um, just a quick introduction, which I did not do in the beginning. My name is Vaijayanti, and I am doing my DBA doctorate in AI, in responsible AI, AI governance to be very precise. And along with that, I'm also CPMI certified. So I've been using AI, I've been working on AI, and I've been seeing how senior executives like board directors can use AI to take good recommendations for industry. Okay, so I guess that should be enough. Any questions, friends? If you have questions, please let me know. Kiran, about the fees, what is the nature of the course, like in how many days and how do you have to register with PMI and all of those details. My team should be faster. So please connect with my team there. And okay, any other questions that are open? Which AI tool we use for project doing fast? Gaurav, there is no specific AI tool that you can use for working on projects or driving your project fast. No, you cannot drive your project faster than what it should be, and there is no specific tool for that. If your question is asking me what AI tools will help me in delivering faster. You are most probably you are talking about Gen AI tools like ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini. Use anything that you like, but be sure that you do not give sensitive data to the tool. It may not be very safe. It's not about which tool, any tool. You have to be particularly any tool, you have to take care that you don't give sensitive data. So Ashwini, was that how much sharing of project data and information with an AI is actually safe, especially when privacy and data protection is probably one of the most important discussions these days. Perfect, Ashwini, a very good question. There is a concept called anonymization of data, where anything that would be able to identify the person or identify the entity, say a company's name, when I say entity, or a person's name, you anonymize the data, move that out. That is something, how to do it technically is not something that we can talk about it, but anonymize the data for making it safe. Otherwise, actually speaking, if I, let's say, if I give, many people say that giving your name and your picture on ChatGPT or Gemini is not safe. Practically speaking, Gemini doesn't leak out your private data or ChatGPT doesn't leak out your private data to anyone. But yes, at any given point of time in future, they can give my data to vendors. They can use my data to train their models, which is not what I want, and that's why I should not be giving. It's not that people can use my pictures if I give to AI. But your question here is not about personal data. Your question here is about project data. Anonymize it, and it should be safe. I'm launching a poll now. I want you to respond to poll. And meanwhile, please ask your questions on chat. I'm just launching the poll parallelly. Coming back to, I want you to keep on answering the poll. Coming back to your questions, which AI tool is good for transcripts in the meeting? Any AI note taker should be good if it gets a good RCTF prompt or if it is fine tuned for your for the analysis. Is the current AI session the next level of project management? Swapnil, I did not actually, Swapnil, my Patro, I did not actually understand your question. If you're asking if this session is a part of the masterclass, yes, actually, I want you to have the mindset there of what you are learning and what you will be delivering. Morris, as we use AI into work, going forward, should we outrightly claim or decide that I have used AI to, it's a good idea to be honest about it, Morris. And if you talk about ethics, you should. Somebody wants to, how comfortable are the organizations to let the PMs use the historical data or the current data? How can we convince the governance board or steering committee that data being shared is safe? How comfortable are the organizations? So if the data is not anonymized, no organization is going to be comfortable you sharing with it. When you share the historical data should usually be available to project managers for analysis. I'm not saying AI analysis, general analysis for working on your projects. And yes, if it is anonymized well, you have you have to convince your stakeholders, seniors, showing them how you have anonymized and how it will not relate to a particular case, particular person, particular data privacy laws. If you can convince them, they'll let you use. So that's the second part of it. Ashwini, okay, thanks, Ashwini. Does CPMAI only address management perspectives of or data analysis. Raghavendra, if you are asking if data analysis tools and techniques are included, no. As a project manager, you need to get the work done. So data analysis and model choice or analysis of model, which model you're going to use and why and how. This is something you have to understand as a project manager, but that is definitely not the part of CPMAI course. It's the technical part is not for CPMAI course. It is about managing AI projects. The situation right now is 80% of the or more of the AI projects are not successful. Why they are not successful? That's because they're not managed well. Technically, people are capable. Technically, people can give very good results. On top of it, they can analyze the data well. They can select the models well. The models are becoming faster. On top of that, why the projects are failing? Because they are not being managed well. So CPMAI is about that. Kirti Kumar, I really, okay, what is that? Employees leak proprietary information via ChatGPT. Okay. So for that, the best thing to do is have a ChatGPT or any AI specific for your organization. So RAG models will not get into that right now. That's so that the data doesn't get leaked. That's one thing you can do. But more than that, see, one way is to create a wall so that nobody can look outside or nobody can send the data outside the wall. Yes, that you should do, but better thing you should do is train your team members. See, they do not leak it just because they want to leak. It happens accidentally. So if they know what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, it will reduce. So educating your team on this is more important, is what I'm saying. And yes, creating RAG models or creating models which do not, which are meant only for your organization might be one idea. Shankar, was that? How extent? As a interesting question, what extent PMP concepts are helpful in CPMAI? The examination is for project managers. So, yes, those concepts are useful to an extent, but directly, if you say earned value concept, is it useful? My answer is no. But communication management plan, though CPMAI exam doesn't mention it at all, it is important for you to communicate what's happening on the project so the questions can talk about it. Prafulla, was that? Good to see you. Oh, yes, Prafulla. Good to know that you are here. I'm working as a project lead, and so is helping us a lot. We're not authorized to use any other in general. However, want to add. Yes, many say as I was answering somebody's question here, Kirti's question, like make the AI specific to your organization. That's what JLL is doing, allowing you to use only that. But what Prafulla is saying is outside in the world, you need to actually use others. You are right, Prafulla Kumar. And it's not about the tools. I'm not going to talk about ChatGPT. I'm not going to talk about Gemini or Claude. If we are using some example, maybe I'll use one of them. Sometimes I'll use one, sometimes I'll use other because I don't have any personal favorite there. So you knowing them is now not good to have. It's required is what I'll say for a project manager. Imshad, if AI will allow a PM to gain 30-40% time on task, what other responsibilities will PM be given? PM will now it's already happening. It's not will, Imshad. If I remember my project management days, and if I remember now, more as you grow, not as an entry level project manager or a project coordinator, as you grow in project management, you are given more decision making, strategic decision making responsibilities, which may take more time and more pressure. What should be the top three objectives one should keep? Kiran, I'm not clear about your question. Are you saying what should be the top three objectives as a project manager? I'll answer that question. If I have not answered your question, let me know once again. As a project manager, when you are managing a project, what is that project going to do? What is the deliverable? And how it aligns to the organization's business. This also answers, Imshad, your question. As a project manager, you are not somebody who just executes and delivers. You have to analyze if my project really aligns with organization's business goals. So you have to understand your organization's business and you have to make decision according. So that should be your first objective. Then understanding whether your organization is right now in position to take that project up. I'm only answering Kiran's question from CPMAI perspective. CPMAI talks about AI initiatives. It doesn't talk about other projects. So where AI initiatives, where you are making your own AI for something, that is what CPMAI talks about. So whether your organization has enough bandwidth, it can be technical bandwidth, it can be financial, it can be hardware bandwidth. That's what you have to find out. And whether you have required data or not. That's the third thing. Okay. Does the AI model train itself using our data? Many of the AI models give you an option whether you want to participate in that or not. If you answer no, AI models will not. I want to know, yes, Gaurav, some prompting network frameworks will be part of the course. And on top of it, Gaurav, we are giving you a lot of free prompts that are useful for a project manager, something like 70. Oh, thanks, Kiran. Okay, so I think I have answered all the questions. Any other questions that you have, friends, still? If you have, please raise your hands. Gaurav, you have raised your hand. Can you lower it? I think I've answered your question, right? Yeah. So, look, now let me stop the share here and be with you. Any other questions, friends? Shankar, go ahead. I did answer how to what extent PMP questions are PMP concepts are useful. That was your question, right? So not able to see you. Okay, with that, friends, I think it's time to close. I know I have overshot by 7 minutes. Thank you very much for being here from beginning to end, answering all the questions and being with me. I enjoyed this session very much. Hope you have enjoyed it too. Bye.